Hi, and welcome to episode 28 of the Hope and Mum and Dad podcast. I'm Becky, and that's Fuzz, and we're here to share our IVF journey, the one we're about to embark on. Haven't started anything yet, really, but we wanted to just raise awareness around fertility and infertility, and we've been speaking to lots of different people, and today we're just talking about what's new with us this week. Fuzz had his 5 minutes of fame on the radio.
5 minutes of very early fame. I was knackered.
Yeah.
I spoke to Claire
Summers.
Yeah. On the breakfast show for Wales. They're promoting the Rhod Gilbert documentary, but you know more about that.
Yeah, so Rhod Gilbert, his documentary Him Fertility aired on BBC One Wales on Monday last week. I think it was the 25th of January. And that was really good. It's like a documentary all about his experience with infertility and in particular kind of raising concerns about the fact that often men are kind of kept out of the equation with IVF. And it's something that we've touched on before. But I think more needs to be done. And it was a shame because the documentary that he was sharing, it was cut. Like they were building up some kind of stamina, or what's that word? Like they were building up like momentum. Yeah, not stamina.
Momentum.
Momentum. They were building up momentum, and then obviously that all got paused because of COVID, which was a shame. Yeah, same with everything else. Lots of IVF. Like Rhod and his wife also had that IVF paused, and it was interesting to see what he'd experienced, and he talked to lots of people locally in Wales. And I just think it is quite shocking because I think one of the facts that he shared was that 50% of all cases in infertility or with fertility issues is to do with the male side. But to me, that does make sense. It is a shocking statistic because it sounds like a lot. But
I think it's pretty normal.
If most cases where
not shocking.
Well, I think if you look at it this way, with heterosexual I can't say it now. Heterosexual couples, men and women having IVF, that's because there's an issue. Obviously, with same-sex couples having IVF, that's just because they can't. It's not infertility because they just physically can't.
Yeah, they need like an intervention.
They need intervention and medical intervention to help because it's not possible for them to get children together. So 50% of cases to me is normal because it takes two people, one's man, one's woman.
Are they taking that into consideration?
I don't know, but what I'm saying is it doesn't surprise me really because it's a 50-50 thing anyway, isn't it?
And yeah, they kind of cover some basics and stuff like how 21st century living isn't very good for fertility. But yeah, and which was interesting, but kind of part of me was like, oh, I don't want to go down that. I don't want to dig into all of that because it is what it is. My thing anyway, my low count is like something to do with genes or
but when we were talking
that isn't, it's not like I've got a low-ish count and I can top it up and do stuff. I take vitamins, I exercise, I do I do all the stuff you're meant to do, but my thing is like they don't even know. It's just like it could be something from like having mumps or something weird like that when you're a kid, like so part of me I'm interested in it, but then I know myself and I end up analysing everything and trying to apply it to myself and go. So I was like, that's cool. I'm going to just focus on the other bits now. Yeah,
I think one of the good things was, though, that he made light of it, and not light of it, it's a serious topic, but he was able to laugh at his experiences.
If you can't laugh at it, you're in trouble, like he said.
So it's good, like, that he was able to do that, and he also faced those. It's not like he's really open and comfortable talking about it. Throughout the documentary you could see that he was facing those dilemmas, wasn't he? Like, oh, do I really want to be the face of this campaign?
But I think he is quite brave.
Yeah, he is.
No. I think he is quite open about it and he's okay about it, but it would be a boring TV show if he was just like, so yeah, fine, everything. I do think there's an element of that in the show, which is fine, and it because that helps people that are super like awkward about stuff. Yeah. But I generally think he's probably all right about it, because why you you wouldn't put your face on posters and
Yeah.
do all this stuff.
I think it's really good that you're so alright about it too. Like, lots
I got
of people...
better things to stress about, like.
Yeah,
not better things.
but
they're not better things, but I just think, you know, I just...
Everyone who's listened says, like, huge well done, and they're, like, proud of you for talking about it, because it's an important thing. Like, men do need to share more. I mean, women as well need to share more about fertility issues, because it's still kind of like a taboo, and they're not talked about
I don't
subject.
know. I have suffered with anxiety and depression a lot, especially when I was younger and stuff. So I think this just pales in insignificance. If I never worried or had a shit time about anything, then this would be the biggest thing I've dealt with.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, it's the end of it. But I literally have been through so much worse.
Yeah.
That I just think...
And that shows that it's all relative, really, doesn't it? So for someone who hasn't had mental health issues before, or hasn't had to be resilient or overcome any struggles, then it's going to be a huge thing.
But I think, that's the thing, though. I think that's probably quite a rare statistic, because so many people do have anxiety and depression and stuff like that. Like 1 in 3 people have stuff. It's probably more than that.
Yeah.
But so but I when I was younger and teenage and stuff, I had anxiety quite bad and stuff. So I just think, poof, at least it's not that.
Yeah.
But the other thing as well, I saw someone kicking off hard, right? Just going, this is bullshit, you know, like really getting into a heated debate, like we all have probably want to do or have done or whatever. The lockdown stuff just stresses people out, so no judgment. But they and I think the point was, like, not being able to, like, having kids and not being able to see their grandparents because of lockdown. And I think, or I can't even remember. Basically, it was complaining about lockdown and how tough things were and stuff like that. And I didn't want to say, count yourself lucky, you've got a family and you can see him every day and blah blah. I didn't say that, but I was just kind of like, I was trying to. I think I did say that in the end, because it sort of unraveled, and I was just like, look, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you've got a family, you're at home, just try and, like,
enjoy time with them.
Be positive about that, at least.
Yeah.
And we've never lived in a time with so much communication and technology. You can FaceTime grandparents, stuff like that. Anyway, the point was, someone was saying to me during that thing, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying, like, just because other people have got it worse doesn't mean your things that you worried about are not valid. And I agree, but I also agree, I agree with that, but I also think we all need to just shut up and do what we got to do, because it like, you can't, in the news, it's driving me nuts. Like, every BBC and Sky News update thing I see, there are people with kids at home, and I know they're stressed out. It's horrible. But they're saying, oh, we're stressed out. They need to open the schools, kids' mental health. And you're like...
Yeah. We were both kind of laughing at that. Not laughing, but
Well,
there was a segment on the
cause...
BBC where there was this girl who, bless her, is learning online and obviously missing her friends.
Oh my God.
But she had, like, a personal home office. She wasn't, like...
She was her bedroom was nicer than my office, right?
Yeah. And
for,
she
like,
was,
an 11-year-old
she
girl.
has all these devices, and then it ends with her doing a clip on her cello, and I just think...
She's like...
That is not an image.
I miss my friends at school. My mum and papa are
Yeah.
getting rather stressed out. And you're like...
It's not...
There's kids without laptops. They can't even eat lunch
There's kids
because
with parents in their house who ignore them.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of lockdown.
But there are kids with good parents who, for, you know, no fault of their own, are like, you know, their parents are out of work or whatever, and they rely on school for food and stuff like that, and then and so they're malnourished, don't have laptops, some of them don't have internet, and I just thought, like, surely this is a joke. Like, this is girl in a massive, huge house.
Yeah, you said
her parents are like, oh, I work from home. You can work from home, and you have got the space, and you've got laptops, and you've got internet. And then she's playing a cello at the end. And you're like, am I losing my mind here? What the fuck is going on?
You said as well, like, following that, if they were responsible, they'd go to, like, cut to someone who is, like, had experienced loss and maybe is...
So my point was, all these media outlets at the moment,
They're making it about schools.
Yeah, but what they're doing is they're trying to get views and clicks. And most people, they play into the popularism stuff. So people are stressed out and they want to open schools because they're stressed out. It's not safe. That's just the latest thing. There's loads of stuff. So they'll play that, and then they'll say, oh, kids' mental health. Oh, but you're like, people are gonna die. Like, what about their mental health? What about their family's mental health? What about their actual life?
It's a really difficult subject as well in the infertility community, like you said. Like, be grateful that you've got a family. I think for lots of
you
people...
can't, yeah, but that's like saying to you, like...
No, but for lots of people working from home, I know on Instagram I've seen lots of people where they've been in Teams meetings, and it's kind of triggering kids, sometimes to see kids come into the meeting, or people just being like complaining about their kids, when anyone in this community would give anything to have kids nagging them,
to have those problems.
Yeah, to have those problems.
But I mean, yeah,
it's hard.
You could unravel that forever, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But like, I bet you if we do get pregnant and have kids, there'll be times when we'll be stressed out.
Of course, yeah.
But
that's normal.
This tit for tat thing, like, oh, you're not allowed. But my point being, I said on this argument with someone, like, we haven't got kids, and you're like, well, and our IVF got cancelled, which is kind of stressful, but I get it, and I'm happy. I'm happy about it. Like, I'm not arguing about it. Like, it had to stop. Things were bad. That's fine. I get it. Like, I'm not going to complain, and I'm not going to, like, tell everyone else how unfair it is, because it's not. Life's unfair. It's unfair that we can't have kids. Tough shit. No one cares. I'm not special. You're not special. Like, we just got to do what you got to do.
Special to me.
Yeah. But like, less than two, like, how many, like, so people live for 70 years, roughly-ish, right?
More than that.
Now they do, but, like, so if you go parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, my granddad was I never met him properly, but my dad's dad was a marine engineer in World War II. He was in Japan and, almost dying all the time. He came home on a boat. No, he came home on a plane that crashed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and they sent another plane for him. And he's like, I'm not getting on any plane. So he got a boat instead.
Yeah.
And I think that almost had problems as well. Like, these people, not even like two people ago, 2 human beings ago, my dad and his dad, they were like, here's again, off you pop. Like, almost dying all the time. And we're kicking off. We've got heating. Well, most people have got heating, electricity, devices, internet.
At home.
Yeah. And it's, like, annoying. But, like, we got to put it into perspective and just kind of... Yeah. It doesn't help when the government are just absolute clowns and they haven't got a clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they've made it worse. Worst death rate in the world.
Yeah, it's bad.
So, anyway, really be grateful for what you got. Try and be positive. And, we get it. We get that we haven't started our treatment and it's taken an extra year plus. But we both understand that it's got to happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Going back to what Claire Summers was saying to you, though, and the whole Him Fertility.
I bet you was quite a boring guest on the show.
I do think you were boring.
Because I was just like, it is what it is. You can't do anything about it.
Well, there was one question that I would say that you answered wrong, but it's not wrong because you were tired.
Who's the prettiest girl in the world? It's Rebecca.
She asked you, how have you found it? Do you find that you've been overlooked kind of with treatment? And you said no. But I was thinking about it in a bit more detail.
I thought she meant, like, not medically, but like as in groups and people. No,
she means medically and like, you don't mean, I don't think, maybe she means like,
in general,
communication, in like you've been involved in every meeting and they do talk to you, not just to me. Like you were like cracking the jokes and everything. They loved you in there, but they did.
Oh, I made a joke.
You made.
I can't remember.
Anyway, but it is interesting that once we had our initial results, all the way back in like December 18, they came back and mine appeared normal, and yours came back kind of lower than they thought, which was why it triggered the process for IVF. But following that,
they didn't even know how to read my results. The doctor was like, I guess this is good or
Yeah,
bad.
he didn't understand. It was really poor delivery of the information because he didn't have a clue.
If we can learn about like the,
we deciphered them ourselves.
I know, but yeah.
But
A PDF, like a little PDF newsletter every 6 months to the GPs would be good.
But it really it shows you how poor it is and how directed at women it is that we were being referred to IVF. Fair enough, they knew we would need that, but you weren't referred to an andrologist. We were referred to a gynecologist.
I should have seen the
andrologist.
No, the other one, urologist.
Yeah, but an andrologist is the male equivalent of a gynecologist, and there's like loads of people in that documentary didn't know what one was, and there's really there's really few of them across the country.
There's
so
really
yes,
few of them.
You are going to be seeing a urologist, and yes, you should have seen one sooner.
Because
but
of,
also
like,
they should have referred you to andrology, but maybe there isn't an andrology department in Cardiff because there are so few andrologists across the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Isn't it just bonkers? And we know that the issue
fertility's
is
dropped 40% over the last... Male fertility's dropped 40% over the last 30 years. And it's going to get worse.
So any children listening to this, young adults who are 17 and thinking of going to university, there's a good thing for you to go and study. Become an andrologist.
And also think about your fertility younger, because I never, ever thought about it.
Yeah,
but it might be a thing. Like... would it be an idea if I was younger now and I realised it might be a problem further down the line?
Yeah.
Can you get checked out on that? Like,
absolutely, and
absolutely.
Dr. D'Angelo also said that you can freeze sperm samples like as a precautionary
Not at
thing.
home. Don't get any ideas.
Not at home, but that is an option. So if you froze sperm samples when you were 17, your sperm at 17 is going to be better than your sperm at 32 or 33, no questions. So that is a thing.
Yeah, so if you're young, think about your fertility, because we're finding out all this stuff late.
Yeah. I think we were talking about it with Sarah, my friend, who we spoke to about IMI-Watch and periods in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and said then that, sex education needs to involve fertility, and it needs to not just be about prevention of getting pregnant, but to teach people about fertility. Especially
how old were you when you really thought about not having them at that time, but you were like, I'm definitely having kids and family and all this stuff?
For me.
For me. That's Bill Burr reference right there.
No, I think I always knew. Ask anyone.
Anyone.
My auntie said to you, don't marry her, just give her a baby, didn't she? At one point, I think. And my nan always said, yeah, you just want a baby. Like, I think I've always wanted kids.
Have you just been told to have a baby?
I've never been told to have a baby ever, but I obviously always liked babies. I always liked babies, and I've always liked young people. And I think, maybe society makes you feel a bit like that, but I've always known I wanted a kid. I don't remember thinking ever, oh no, I don't want one.
Because we're
Maybe men and women are different in that way. I don't know. As a general
there'll
statement.
be someone that will crucify you for saying that.
I don't know.
No, but I agree with you. I think some people are wired that way. It's all like nature, nurture, or whatever. But this is the internet, so everyone's nice and laid back, and they don't go off the rails.
No one starts wars.
Yeah. So when you were younger, did you ever think about fertility and things like that?
No.
Nul point.
I just got my periods and I was like, oh, I'm a woman.
You're like,
now.
wicked, this happens every month. Yes.
No, but we've both said at different points, like, I don't know what it was, but before I even met you, I've thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to have kids. Like, I've just, in the back of my mind, something.
But it's not you, it's me. It's my fault.
Intuition. Intuition just tells you these things sometimes. But it's not just your fault, and I say this again and again. It's not going to be straightforward with me. Either getting pregnant, IVF or no, and actually having a pregnancy because of having thyroid issues. So IVF and ICSI might work for us first time, but who knows what happens with my body and the medication that I'm on for the time of carrying. We don't know what will happen. Yeah.
And I always say, I'm a pessimistic optimist. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I just think it's important that
Where should we go on holiday first?
Exactly. No, I'm not even joking. I think it's important. I think it's important to look at all the angles, because because it's either going to work or it's not.
Yeah, I've never been on board with that idea. I've always been like, oh yeah, well, we'll adopt. But
I don't know. I'm just being honest that people have, it's a well-known thing. It's not just an easy thing to do, and I'm just honest about it. I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that I need to just start to explore options of us not ever having kids. You know, how our life will be if we never do.
Yeah, we
and
just be all yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But we can have fun with kids too.
Yeah.
But we could just go on more holidays.
Yeah, we can go and see
weekends.
Our nieces and nephews.
Yeah, exactly. I want to go to Italy, please. Can we go to Italy?
Eventually.
I want pizza in Italy. That's the first place I'll go.
But I mean, I think it's important to be realistic. And I don't know if this is I think this is like what they call magical thinking. It's like what kids do, you know, when kids are like, or if I say this 3 times, this will happen. It's like an OCD thing, maybe.
I don't know.
Like kids, it's more popular with kids. Kids do like I don't know.
I think it's a form of like self-preservation.
No, it is like an OCD thing people do all the time. It's like sportsmen, like ice hockey goalies, right? They always tap the posts when they go out, and they don't all do it, but it's like a well-known thing, and it's like a ritual.
Yeah, and I think Tom, our brother-in-law, I don't know if he's still got them, but I remember Ali telling me when we
Tom
were younger.
was a Marine. I can't get over that.
Yeah, well, he used to wear his lucky boxes under his wetsuit, like when he went surfing. Yeah. And he always did, and I don't know if they're still alive or even in one piece.
What was the luck for?
I don't know, but it's like that kind of superstition.
Yeah.
Same as you, like kids saying, if I turn around 3 times clockwise before I go and meet this person, then it'll be a good meeting. Yeah. It's kind of like weird and also linked to kind of like, you know, that old wives' tales and kind of...
yeah, it's nonsense.
You know, cultural things in China, like, oh, if you are born in the moon of this, then that kind of thing.
Yeah. No,
it's
so...
celestial stuff.
Yeah. So there's 2 parts to it, right? Yeah. It's like, it doesn't actually make any difference. Yeah. Right. But it makes you feel better. Yeah. And that might make a difference, but it's probably not.
But I think it might be wired into us as humans because, like, if you think of going back historically to pagan times and even further.
History lesson with Becky.
Oh, get lost.
Come on.
But, you know, like Stonehenge and all that stuff, that is weird stuff. And, like, people would...
You sound like Cal Pilkington, though. Yeah. Stonehenge. Isn't that weird? Stonehenge is dead weird.
But people would have rituals. And my nan we all know was kooky. Love her to bits and miss her like mad. But she used to say all sorts of quirky things. Like, I think...
Don't say them.
What? No, Ali
some of the wild ones might get us in trouble on YouTube.
Ali got some kind of like skin problem on the top of her foot. And it was like eczema, but not, and it wouldn't go away. And I think it appeared kind of after a holiday somewhere. And my nan told her to wait for a full moon. And then when the full moon was there, to go out into the garden naked under the full moon and turn around and make a wish and it would go away.
Some of the other ones she said were like...
We'll have to check in and like see if that's true.
Wild.
Yeah.
How did we get on today? We were talking about rituals and stuff. And so this is...
Mental health.
Yeah, no. So my thing is like, if I think that it won't happen, if I'm like quite realistic that, you know, if I tell myself that it won't happen, even though, like, if I big up the, if it's 50-50, it's not. But if it's 50-50 and I put more on it being not good, then if it does work out, it's extra good. Yeah. And you're not as fucked up if you... So that's... I think... And part of the magical ritual thinking thing, I kind of think I've got a bit of that. So I'll say, that's not going to work. It's disastrous thinking or catastrophic thinking. Or
I don't know.
You think, it'll never work. And then it kind of works. And then you go, so next time, all I got to do is think it'll never work. It's not healthy. It's not good. But like,
I personally think women who are trying to have a baby do that every month just before their period. And they're like symptom spotting and they think,
so they go... I am pregnant.
I do it where I say,
I'm going to open this.
I can't be pregnant.
Close your ears.
I can't be pregnant. And then when you find out that you're not, it's like you know that you weren't. But if you found out that you were, then you'd be like, oh wow, this is amazing.
So you go, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
But you're like, please
Like something will happen that makes you think that it's going to work. Like, I don't know, your
by
boobs
thinking
hurt
by
or
thinking
something.
it's not going to work, you think that's a trick to make it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm
so
doing.
I'd say it's like a 3-weekly thing for women across the world trying to have a baby.
So
consciously.
But realistically, I'm feeling quite optimistic about stuff. I think
good.
measuredly optimistic. But if it doesn't, I don't want to dwell and hang around on it and just go on and 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 on. I just want to go, we tried.
Yeah.
Move on.
We do need to check as well with the cycles that we're offered in Wales, 2 full cycles plus the frozen transfers, but we need to find out if that's the offer until you have a baby, or is that the offer
if you have a baby, I don't give a shit. Like, whatever.
Well,
done.
I'll want to know. Soz.
No, but if we have one kid,
yeah,
mission accomplished.
Absolutely.
Chill out.
Absolutely.
Like, done.
But I wouldn't mind having another if the option's there. We'll see. So talking about mental health, the other thing that I wanted to mention that is in Wales, for all our Welsh listeners, on the 4th of February, which is next Thursday, it is Time to Talk Day in Wales, and there's been lots of mental health days. I think today it's Belle's Mental Health Day in Canada, and today is Thursday the 28th of Jan. So it's like the kind of season of mental health and talking about it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
About what?
Making days about stuff.
Yeah.
Because every day is a mental health day for people with mental health issues.
Exactly. But if people don't have time to raise awareness for it all the time, then having a day that makes people talk about it.
But then if you go on about it too much, if you have this day and that day and this day and that day and this day and that, people are like, oh.
Well, there are hundreds of days, aren't there, all the time? But I thought that their slogan this time is called The Power of Small, and it's just about, like, just a common thing is asking people, are you okay? Do you know what I mean? Like, and actually meaning it, like, oh,
it's
are
not
you
your
okay?
fault.
No.
It's not your fault.
Small things, like you could
It's
be
not
like,
your fault.
let's have a cup of tea. How are you doing? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or just being like, passing comments to someone, like, I hope you have a peaceful day.
There's that, or like you, when you go around Tesco's going, namaste.
I didn't. I said, have a nice day, and you keep winding me up. I said, have a nice day, not namaste.
Everyone's like, ooh, who's this lady? Namaste.
Namaste. I do like saying namaste.
Cash or card? Namaste.
Stop it. Yeah. So I didn't say that. I said, have a nice day.
Now for the segment of the show that you've all been eagerly waiting for is Whisper.
It doesn't work anymore because the whisper was that you were famous on Radio Wales.
No, there's more whispers.
What is it?
1, top whisper. I fixed this chair. It was creaking last week, and it was a 2-man operation, 2 human being operation. Sorry, internet. Me and Becky fixed it, and it was good. No more creaks.
And the unripe bananas.
Unripe bananas. That was on That's another whisper.
We've got radioactive bananas. Well, we've had them for 2 weeks and they're still green.
Yeah. I might be doing a charity quiz. I had an idea. Me and Becky dressed up for New Year's Eve, all glam.
Fancy Friday.
And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm always in my casual lounge wear all the time, and I just thought,
Mix it up a bit.
Dress it. Me and Becky gonna host a charity.
Are we?
Yeah, we are. Because you've just said so.
No, you did. I said, are we?
No take backs.
I said,
no take backs. No take backs. So we're holding. We're gonna do a charity podcast. No, a charity quiz. But I'm gonna try and make it not just a shit quiz where it's like, what's the answer? A, B, or C? Like maybe put some video elements in there, or maybe take, I don't know, like make it cool and do it over Zoom with my wedding clients. So I'm a wedding photographer. That's how I make most of my money. Or I did before everything went nuts.
That sounds a bit exclusive now. I feel like anyone listening to us might want to join too.
Okay, well I'm doing the first one for the weddings. Well, they can join as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm doing it through my wedding channel.
You're on
and
the
stuff
channel
because there's no weddings and I need to do something.
You're bored.
It needs to be, needs to be doing something. So ChristopherPaulWeddings.com, that's me. I do wedding photography, wedding videography. Being cautious about things at the moment. I'm I've had to everyone. Basically, I'm working for free for a year because all the weddings last year moved to this year. But yeah, if you're engaged or you know anyone's getting married and that, then this is a shameless plug. You can just send them over to the website, check them out. Love_CPW for the Instagram. But yeah, the first quiz that we'll be doing, I'll be doing under that, basically, just to sort of keep the socials going over on there. I think that's about it for. Ooh. Whispers.
What?
Another one. Your coat, or was that last week?
That was last week.
Oh, come on, Fuzz.
Come on, Fuzz.
Recycling whispers, yeah.
There is whispers, and I've got a rumour of four little footprints tapping around outside in the hall. So
I almost bought Coco a Stegosaurus outfit on Amazon.
Yeah, you did.
Oh God.
You'll have to send it to me so I can put it out on stories.
Yeah.
She hates dressing up though, so you
put it
buy
on, she just keeps still.
She just frozen like that. But yeah, the whisper on the street is that Coco is like tapping at the door, like, "Hey, come take me for a walk." So that is what we should do.
Yeah. What else we got? So next steps for us.
2 appointments coming up, like we said last time. Next week and the week after, and then we've also had a call through for you for a video call.
Yeah, I don't really.
Urology.
Hopefully, that's not the actual appointment.
Yeah, we hope that they'll actually feel
because I've got to get checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all pending our results from the first 2 appointments. So we'll let you know how it goes.
Are we gonna get going?
Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna get going. Make sure you can check us out everywhere. Just search for Hope and Mum and Dad, and we're on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. If you are enjoying hanging out with us and checking in every week, it means a lot to us and helps us reach other people. If you could leave a review, whether that's in iTunes, a comment on YouTube, or Spotify, let us know. If you listen to on a few different ones and you prefer one channel to the other, let us know. We're constantly trying to make things better. We're doing our best. We can't really get too many people on at the moment. It's tricky getting hold of people, so we're trying our best. We'll give you some more news next week, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.